Hi.
Can you hear me? Okay.
What? Which one? Oh, I don't know. No. I thought you were running that. No, it's cool.
Okay, so it looks like only one of my device, my internet connections are working today. So I'm just going to go with this one. As long as you can hear me, and if you can see me, it's good. Okay, so we're going to jump in and talk about. Okay, yeah. So we're going to. You can hear me still? Yes. Okay. So I want to go ahead and start with the homework from week 6. I want to start with 2 questions out of that homework, talking about adjusting to the mindset of some folks here on the continent. So if you can open up that week 6 homework called the customer demographic. Unfortunately, I can't share the question on the screen because my laptop at the moment isn't connecting. But my phone internet is working. So if you can pull it up in the folder. How are you all doing?
Good.
Oh, thank God somebody's speaking. Okay, good. All right, good. Okay. Hopefully Misha will be joining soon, and when if possible. Okay, so do you guys have that up for week 6, the demographic, customers and demographic?
We're still pulling it up.
Okay, no problem. When you do pull it up, guys, please go to the last question, which is question 4. If for whatever reason you don't see it inside of your folder, just go to the week 6 homework folder and you'll see a copy of it there. Please don't type into the master copy, even though somebody already did that. That's okay. I'm going to delete it, but I'm trying to give you a chance to copy it before I delete it.
Hey, Kalea, is this a customer demographic?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, do you all see the question? Marlon, you got it too? Shake your head. Oh, I can't hear you.
Yes. Oh.
Marlon, if you need more time, just put your hand up, like a finger, you know. Okay, all right, so we'll just give him a little bit more time to find it. Okay, so Gwen has came on. Gwen, please go to the folder for week 6 and look at the homework assignment, customers and demographic. We're going to discuss question 4.
The one for everyone or just our one?
It's called customers and demographic. Misha, welcome. Please go to week 6 folder for the assignments and pull up the customer and demographic document. I am limited my internet connection today to only the internet data on my phone because my other internet that I have isn't working right now. So I can't share my screen, not yet. Okay, so what I'd like for us to do is to talk about this, thinking about what was said to you by Tyrone in the in the discussion last week when he was talking about adjusting to doing business in Ghana and just giving you guys some tidbits. So the question, I'm going to go ahead and read it. As an entrepreneur in Africa, you will be required to adjust your mindset to understand your target market. How will you adjust and or pivot your marketing to target Ghanaians, Africans in other countries or regions? Compare that to how you will or do market to the diaspora. So I asked this question very specifically because how you sell a product to people in your home country might be different than how you do it here. So who would like to start by sharing with us how you answered that question, or how you would answer that question if you did the homework? Thank you, Felicia. Jump in.
All right, so I don't think now that we've learned that what we've learned in the last couple of weeks, I don't think this is the correct answer. So we wrote, although Daytech's marketing efforts have been successful for our current business in the USA, our target audience in Ghana will be different. In order to fully understand how and where to pivot, Daytech will need to be on the ground in Ghana. That is partially true, but we have had to pivot how we think about our services since we wrote that. So I think we can pivot in the way that we're thinking now without being on the ground, but being on the ground is still important.
Okay, being on the ground is important, but taking from what you've learned so far and the information you gathered, not just from me, but also from our guest speaker, what do you think you would do beyond just being on the ground? Like what things which way do you think you may need to pivot? Like give me some sort of example, give me something to work with. Okay,
so the pivot is rather than just focus on cybersecurity services, we're coming at it from an angle of helping Ghana schools to become digital by 2024. So COVID has already revealed, that a lot of schools in Ghana and all over the country, including the US, schools could not efficiently offer digital training services online. So rather than Daytech focusing just on cybersecurity, we're going to pivot to providing I'm not sure what that was. But we're going to pivot to providing remote training service systems. So basically the infrastructure, the servers, the hardware, the software required to allow Ghana schools to teach online and to allow Ghana students to learn online. So we're going to do that, but cybersecurity is a backup, is basically a support to that. So cybersecurity would support the remote training systems that we put online for these schools, support the data, support the infrastructure, all that good stuff. So that's our pivot. we're keeping cybersecurity, but we're coming at it from an angle of helping Ghana schools in relation to what happened with COVID. I don't know if you heard all that. I think you're muted.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Are you hearing the echo?
Yes.
One second.
Oh wait, that's it. Okay, this is what's going to up there. Maybe. This is it. Yeah, I think this is screen.
Can you hear me? Okay, so obviously I'm having like lots of technical difficulties right now. And so I'm trying to figure out how to fix this because my computer completely just crashed. The whole thing just died. So I tried to boot it back up on my phone. Yeah, so much fun, so much fun. Okay, Felicia, I did hear what you said, even though it had some echo, but I heard the majority of it. And I heard you even ask me, can I hear you okay? So I got that. So thank you. I appreciate that you broke it down a bit more. I do have a question though. When you say working with the schools, is that working with the schools to adopt e-learning, or how would you work with the schools? And like, are you talking about like K through 12? Or are you talking about higher ed?
We're talking both, the entire education sector. So I assume, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I assume that there's some educational institutions like universities that are tied to the government, like state, like in the US we have state universities. I'm assuming some of the schools are tied to the government directly and some are private. So yeah, the whole education sector is what we're after, is basically helping all schools in Ghana become digital by 2024. However many schools we can help. And the way we do that is provide the remote training systems, infrastructure, and then cybersecurity to make sure that data is secure. You're frozen.
Okay, I heard state, some schools are tied to the state. Yes, they are. I'm going outside because I'm trying to make sure I keep my signal.
Again? Right, so I was saying that we're going to do.
I heard the person. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, we're doing both government, educational institutions that are tied to the government, as well as private, public sector educational institutions. All right, so our goal is to address any school in Ghana that wants to be digitized or digital by 2024. So we do that. Daytech does that by offering two things initially, which is the remote training systems that those schools are going to need,
Okay.
and the students are going to need, as well as the cybersecurity to make sure the student data is secured. All the communication that happens with these learning management systems are secure. All that good stuff. So it doesn't matter what type of school. Yeah. If there's a university, a private university, we're willing to help them too.
Okay, that sounds great. I do have a follow-up question though. Will you all do this by yourself, or will you be looking for staff to assist you with the technical components of this when you're here?
We will definitely be outsourcing some work, but yeah, I mean, obviously we need partners on the ground to help with this, but with our background, obviously we would lead the effort. It's just a matter of getting, some additional support.
Okay, so keep that
support too. That number of staff is going to be based on how many schools we have to support.
Okay, so keep that answer in mind for the next question. So I'm going to move on to the other folks in the class, but that was good. Thank you. Gillum or Gwen, who would like to take this on for your group? I'm just looking at you guys in order that I see you on the screen.
It can be me. But I don't know what to say.
So you have to think about how you guys will adjust when you get here. Like if you want to read over the question again, is the question unclear, or what part are you struggling with?
I will reread the questions and I will tell you if I understand or not.
Okay. Gwen, this is your partner, so you guys need to answer this question, come up with something. You did the homework, so I know you know how to answer it. So you guys have done this homework. One of y'all need to read that answer and get ready for my follow-up questions.
We didn't, no, I'm sorry. Is this the week 6 homework?
Yes.
So no, we didn't did this homework. I didn't know there was an homework for week 6.
Okay, guys, you got to answer the question regardless, so you better think on your feet. This is the time to think on your feet. I'm coming right back to you. Both of you will answer this question. So if you want to go dark for a second so y'all can talk to each other, that's fine. Misha, I'm going to you. How did you answer, or would you answer this question? It's number 4 in the customer demographic homework from week 6.
Can you please read the question?
Oh, well, I have no access to the question because I can't over my computer. Felicia, girl, I know you got it. Can you read it? Can you read it, please? Pretty please. Will you read the question?
Okay, sure. As an entrepreneur in Africa, you will be required to adjust your mindset to understand your target market. How will you adjust and or pivot your marketing to target Ghanaians? Africans in other countries, question mark. Compare that to how you will do market to the diaspora currently, I guess, in a detailed overview. Based on your response, base your response on your personal knowledge of Ghana and what you have learned thus far in the Blackunicorn Business Blueprint. So that was a lot of questions, but the main thing was, how do you pivot? How do you pivot based on what you learned?
Right.
Okay, good question. I guess one of the ways I would pivot, and it kind of goes back to the question that was asked the previous week of the problem that we will solve. One of the ways that I will pivot is offering 24-hour childcare service. in my daycare, depending on the time that need is, childcare services most needed in my area or the area that I will serve. I will implement 24-hour service. Also, I plan on implementing CPR training. A lot of times kids, I know in my local area, there's been a high number of children drowning. So CPR training, first aid, things of that nature, that's one of the ways I plan on implementing in my business to service my area. And
Okay.
I'm sorry, the second one.
Good.
Okay.
Sorry, the CPR part, I just heard about, because it's just recently been on the news, a baby died because no one knew how to stop the baby from choking. So I know CPR is not choking, but if you teach them how to stop the baby from choking, properly, not try to kill it, but, properly stop the baby from choking, and CPR is beneficial, and 24-hour is definitely unique. Because right now, the longest people go with childcare, and there's only one facility I've heard of doing this, is 9 p.m. So 24 hours is pretty good. So that's good. Okay, so keep that in mind for when we go to week 7's question that we're going to cover in a minute. Marlon, what about you? How would you answer this question?
Right. So interestingly enough, I kind of decided to look at it from the same way I do market our company here, which is through my network, right? So my experience here is that, I can go, well, basically what I do is try to be subcontractors to a lot of these prime contractors here. And a lot of times, if you don't know people, it's a very difficult thing to do, right? You can reach out to a million companies and none of them really get back to you. I have veteran status, Black-owned status, all these different categories, and still it's difficult. But it's the people that I know that actually get back to me, people I've worked with in the past. So I know people say your network is your net worth, and that's absolutely true. So the angle that I took on this is, being that I'm going to be doing mostly outsourcing, is look at this the same way I do here. So what I've actually been doing is that I actually reached out to, when I come to Ghana in June, to 2 folks, one in the NIH and one in the land ministry. 2 folks have 2 demos to do when I come there. So how I think I'm going to actually approach this is a similar way that I do here, which is I reach out to my network here. They put me in touch with people in Ghana, and I present to those folks and go from there. So pretty much the same. Now, depending on what that feedback, I may alter this depending on the feedback I get when I actually meet with those folks. But for now, that's where I think I'm going to go.
Okay, good. So the pivot is essentially utilizing your network to get your foot in the door to be able to do that first demo pitch to prospective clients then, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, Gwen and Gillum, you guys ready for this question?
Yes.
Go ahead, I'm gonna mute myself.
The thing is, we are a bit confused about the question because it's a bit, for us, it's a bit the same as the question 3. So I think I'm gonna mix question 4 and 3. Do you understand? Hello?
So you're saying that you can't answer the question because you felt it's the same as question number 3? I'm confused.
No, we can answer. No, we can answer the question, but I don't know if it's gonna be the answer you expect. So we are a bit confused about the question.
They are building, so you're going to hear all the banging because I had to come outside for my signal. So I'm trying to mute.
Okay, I'm just gonna answer, and then you're gonna give me your feedback.
The question is, how will you pivot once you get here? If you have to pivot, if you have to make a change, what type of change do you think you will make once you come to Africa?
Okay, so we thought about different things. So our target market is middle class and expat workers. So if we don't manage to touch them, then we can also sell to restaurants, because this was the our initial target at first. And then when we talked with you, you said everybody was looking for people who could deliver the food, and there wasn't so much. So we decided to target the middle class. And so if we can't sell directly our chicken, we can pivot. We can, for instance, create a marketplace that collects organic food from different organic producer, and the people, it's the same concept. They have monthly subscription, or and then we collect the food and all together, and we deliver it once a week or once a month, etc. And third option is, if at first we wanted to grow corn or get partner with in order to feed the chicken, because the main cost for raising chicken is with the food. So if we can't sell chicken, we can also just transform the chicken food, transform the corn in order to sell the food to the farmers, because it's mostly imported from other countries. And does it answer the question? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It cut off for me a bit, but I did hear the last part in the beginning. The beginning, you talked about alternating and also selling to restaurants, correct? Yes. So it did answer the question. Okay,
Yes.
good. Yes. Okay, good. It looks like I got my connection back. So what I'm trying to do now is pull up the homework for week 7. And that homework for week 7 had a question about dealing with hiring. And okay, yes, it pulled up. It's question number 3 and 4. So we'll start with 3 about preparing a hiring plan. So if you can go to week 7 and pull up the homework that says company image and hiring assignment. And actually, I don't want to do 3. I want to jump to 4, because 4 was the more detailed question about the, it's a more detailed question about one of the workers. So let's go ahead and go to question 4. Do you guys see that homework, week 7, in the week 7 folder, company image and hiring assignment? I see 1 thumbs up, rest of you, yeah, okay, all right, you guys see it. Okay, so the question is, dealing with employees who do not understand fundamental customer service can be a real issue in Africa. I'm sorry I'm smiling, guys, because customer service is so bad everywhere here, I just can't help but to smile. Yeah, how would you handle the following scenarios? Amma is a soft-spoken 25-year-old who has been unemployed since graduating from university in 2016. She is very eager to work and move out of her parents' house. She comes to work late almost every day. I don't know who highlighted this, but can you stop that? Because you're making me dizzy. It's hurting my glasses. Almost every day, and tends to lay her head on the desk or lay on the bench at the entrance of your office when she is bored. Amma has never been trained or learned about customer service and has not grown up in a culture where this has been a priority in business. How will you handle this situation? So let's go with
Can I ask something first? Hello?
Elle a frisé.
I think we lost her again.
Oh, say that again, Gilliam. You said, how do you say freeze?
Well, I can ask to anybody
How do
actually.
you say that?
I ask to anybody, so
Freeze.
Elle a frisé. Freeze.
Ask the question. What's the question?
Freeze.
we don't know what means soft spoken. Even on Google, it doesn't mean anything in French.
Like you. She's soft-spoken like you, Gwen. She's just like you. She's very soft-spoken. You're soft-spoken, Gwen. You're soft-spoken.
Okay, but I don't
your
know
voice is very low.
I don't know what that means.
You're very,
okay.
you know. You're shy. You're shy. You're not. You see me? I'm loud. I'm loud all the time. I don't even know why I'm loud right now because I'm frustrated. Right? You are opposite of me. You're very soft-spoken. You seem a little bit shy, even though you have all your ideas and you can talk about them clearly. Amma can't talk about her ideas clearly, and she talks in a very low voice and just says, "Sure, yes." Not like you, Gwen, but this is what Amma does. She says, yes, okay.
Okay, thanks. We understand. But Guillaume doesn't agree, but we understand.
Still there?
Okay.
Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, so did you hear that or did it cut off? Okay, good. All right. So, Marlon, how would you like to answer that question? The first half. Marlon, let me be realistic with you. Just because you're in technology and you have people who graduated from college does not mean they're professional, nor does it mean they have customer service experience. It just means, oh, I don't know why you see two of me. Let me turn one of these off. It just means that they have a degree and their daddy or their mommy has connections and got them a job. So how would you respond to that?
Yeah, this was a tough question. This is a very, so I work with folks in the Caribbean and the problem is the exact same issue. It is unbelievable. Okay. And I find that depending on how quickly you need to move, this can really be a problem because this can really hamper you. So I think I like to do like the Army used to do, like a buddy system. So when you have a particular person, you can assign them with someone to work along with and try to move it that way. But it's I think a lot of times, unless you get the right motivation in the company, it's difficult to turn people around. And I don't want to sound so pessimistic, but I haven't seen a lot of these situations where it's easy to bring folks around who are just not motivated, especially one who sleeps at work and this kind of stuff. That's a tough situation. quite frankly, I really don't have the time for it, to tell you the truth.
Nobody has the time for it. Nobody has the time for it. But the reality of it is, as you said, this happens in the Caribbean. This for sure happens here. This happens here 100%, which is why one of the reasons Tyrone, when he was talking to you guys, was talking about creating, what did he call it? Like a code of ethics, and making your employees take a test on it and just kind of reviewing it constantly. Even, I'm gonna add this extra part, even when you're at the office, making sure that they're not just sitting there on their phone or trying to even lean too hard. Making sure they understand to be on their game at all times. So I think that what you're saying is good because you have at least a thought process of how to do it, especially with the buddy system. I think that buddy system is good because it can hold people accountable And they're not used to doing that here, so it'd be something new, right? The second half of that question is Kweku is a mid-level professional with 6 years of experience working in IT within the government sector in Ghana. You're gonna have so much fun when you do your demos. You hired him to lead a tech project for your company, but you quickly learn that Kweku's technical expertise is not to the level or standard needed for your business. How will you handle this situation? Marlon?
Yes, so I've already been warned that folks who graduate from technical schools or college with technical degrees may not even touch a computer. They may have just done theory. So I'm kind of I'm kind of ready for that kind of situation. But again, agile practice. I did a lot of agile training, and I do a lot of our projects here. So agile meaning, you know, that whole methodology where you lay out everything that is supposed to be done and when it's supposed to be done and how it's supposed to be done. And I guess the key is to create small steps and make sure you have these incremental changes, almost daily changes and daily follow-ups, right? So I think the project planning has got to be on point, and you have to keep folks accountable on a daily basis. And if they need more supervision, it has to be more on maybe every 2 hours or so. So you check in more often. One of the things that I've done for friends with companies is set up these same tasks in Jira so they can keep track of what is supposed to be done, and they have to give report, you know, maybe once or twice a day on why things are not getting done and what are the blockers, because sometimes people have no blockers and they just don't do stuff. So, but I think a lot of times just by asking a lot and keeping a process over these folks, you can actually get things to move a bit. So that's the approach I would try.
Okay, I think it's an excellent approach, and it's fantastic because you're utilizing technology. Jira is very good. It's very good for accountability, especially for agile. And so by using it here, people will know you're seeing in real time basically what they're doing. So they'll be forced to be accountable. So it's good. It's good. Okay, thank you, Marlon. Misha, you're next. When you think about this question, I like you to think about this question slightly differently, simply because you're dealing with childcare. And for you have to think about, when you think of this question, instead of thinking of Amma as being a soft-spoken person who wants to lay around and just, you know, sleep, think of someone who doesn't take care of the children properly, like ignores them, doesn't feed them on time, doesn't do the, you know, like, I don't know, the lessons. Girl, I don't be dealing with no babies, but the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, whatever you do with babies to get them to learn, you know what I mean? Because you got to have that time. They're not doing it the way you taught them to do. How would you adjust for that if you had that type of employee?
Yeah, I honestly, the way I was raised is more of a one-time talk. I'll try to explain what was done incorrectly one time. And after that, she has to go, because at some point it becomes a liability to me as the business owner. And I'm not going to risk my business because Alma can't, you know, follow the directions of the training and putting children, you know, people's children at risk. So I will have a training for her and any other staff one time, sign, you know, I agreed to set above. And, you know, once I start seeing any behavior that is, you know, because that's a real safety issue. Sleeping on the job amongst children, that can't happen. So yeah, Alma she's gonna be terminated.
Okay, but so let me challenge that really quickly, because we're in a different, this is a different vibe here. This is a different way of people culturally looking at things. So if you do that and you find someone else that does the same thing, and you have the same response, and then you're on your third, fourth employee, and you have the exact same response happening. At some point, what would you do differently to try to ensure that your employees are trained in a certain way so you don't have to keep trying to rehire constantly? Because parents will look at that and be questioning that as well. So it's kind of like, what would you do training-wise to try to make it so that you find people who have potential to live up to expectations? How would you help them do that? Can you help them do that? But I know you didn't drop off when I'm asking you a question. You tripping. I can't hear. Am I muted? Oh, shit.
No, you're
No,
fine.
sorry.
She's muted.
Yes, every time somebody calls me, the connection drops, and it's like it's crazy. I was like, oh my God, what she's gonna say? I done hung up the phone right when she asked me the question. That's why I had to hurry up and call back. Okay, I'm sorry. I heard you said because it's a different. The last thing I heard is when you said it's a different type of vibe coming over here. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's a different type of vibe, and so you can only replace people so many times before the parents become concerned. So how would you train your employees or employee so that that person improves and be able to be a benefit to your company instead of a liability? What do you think you can do? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the folks here are going to be very different than the folks that you're used to working with in the States. Even the laziest person you're used to working with in the States, because there is there is training and qualifications to do this type of work here, but many people who work in this industry don't have those qualifications. So what would you do?
I was wondering, is there a way that I can hire, because I'm thinking more or less hiring people that have already worked in childcare, so they already have that experience, or specifically hiring someone to train them in that aspect, such as an older woman. You know how some places have like a house mother, a dorm mother, something like that, that would be in charge of instilling this type of work ethic into women. But more, I would try to hire women that have already been worked or have experience with childcare places, so that way it would kind of, cut that part out, I guess, so to speak.
Okay, so I kept hearing beeping, and I thought it was me, so I'm trying to mute, and I don't know. But anyway, I got it. I heard everything you said, Misha. There's a second part to that, and that's the Kwaku part. And so we can change Kwaku to, Sarah, whatever, bright, passion, not passion. They have sometimes they have names that are emotions, so we'll change the name to someone else. But let's say that she is a professional in education, not even childcare, but education. You can even say she's a college graduate in education, right? But even though she's supposed to have all this experience and has a degree in education, you notice that when she's teaching, something about it don't seem right. What would you do? Like, instead of telling the kids, girl, you better stop it. I know you better stop playing with me tonight. I can't even keep my connection. Mom. My thing is this, really quickly. If she is supposed to be in education and she's teaching the kids how to spell the word echo, and she's telling them the word is called echo, what would you do? Because obviously there's a disconnect on how she's teaching. How would you address that? And I'm changing this scenario for you because your situation, not your situation, your business has a different type of situation than a purely technical focus. And guys in the agribusiness, I'm gonna do the same for you because I'm coming to you next. So you better be thinking about it. Okay, Misha, your turn.
if she is blatantly teaching, or I'm trying to understand the question. I'm sorry. Are you saying?
No, wait, Misha. She's not blatantly doing anything. She just don't know how to teach, and clearly don't know English well. When I tell you this happens here, this happens. Echo. We know the word echo is ECHO. Echo. You can have someone saying it's echo, and the kids will turn it into the song and be calling it echo, echo, boom, 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 echo, echo. Because they're not teaching it right, because they don't know the word themselves. And I'm giving, this is real life, girl. I'm not even making this shit up. This is real life. Excuse me for the S word. But I need you to understand, in education, you have to be on your toes and ready to pivot. What would you do?
Well, I know because I'm thinking flashcards that show the real meaning of the spelling of the word, videos, what is that, hooked on phonics, having these children watching, just different types of learning videos. So that way they can.
No, this is not for the kids. I'm asking you specifically about the employee herself, not the children, but the employee. What would you do to help her get it together so she can teach properly? Would you go over the lesson plans with her to make sure she, knew the word is echo and not echo, or apple and not aloe? I'm serious right now.
Are you saying like review her syllabus, review her lesson plan before she even teaches to the kids? That way, so I can check over what she's teaching to them is even correct in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Well then, yes, I would do that. I will review what will be taught to these children in the upcoming weeks or days, just to make sure it is on track, one, for their age range, because I'm only dealing with the ages 3 to 5-year-old children anyway. So I want to review whatever is being taught is suitable for that age range, on task of what they should be learning. And so, yeah, I'll make sure whatever she's teaching them is the correct spelling and the correct pronunciation for their age group.
Okay, so keep this in mind as you think of coming here, and when you do come here, when you do come to visit, before you move, I highly advise that you go into one of these schools or preschools or whatever. They'll happily let you in, and you can sit and watch, or you can guest teach or something like that, so you can see what the kids are learning and how they're learning it. So maybe that could be helpful, and talk to the teachers, because there's a lot to learn. Going to be different here than what you will find in the States, because these kids at 3 are already spelling. These kids at 3 are already learning to read. So this is something that's expected. So this is just something that you have to see when you get here. Okay, thank you, Misha. Wynn and Gillum, your turn now. The question here is, when you're dealing with an employee that doesn't know anything about customer service, and for your company, you want to deliver a product to people weekly, right? So you're delivering a product to people weekly, which is your organic chicken, and they pay for this. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Have I frozen, or can you hear me? Yes, okay. So you're delivering the product to them. What you find is that Ama, who's responsible for delivering the product to people's homes, doesn't let people know what time or time frame she's going to come to the home. So she doesn't tell them if she'll be there between 1 and 3, or 9 in the morning and 12 in the afternoon, or 4 in the PM to 6 PM. She just shows up at any time. And so people get frustrated and are getting discouraged with your services because of the delivery process alone. How would you train Ama, or what would you do to help your employee get better at the delivery process?
Okay. We will set a meeting with Ama, and explain how customer service is very important for the company. And we can go with Ama to the customers and show her how to react and to explain, okay, so you should ask first the customer what time you should go, what time we should meet. And every week or every month, we go with her until she gets it. And
okay, that's actually really good. That's a really good way to handle that situation here. Because if someone's doing delivery, this is not going to be someone that has to go to college. You will have other employees that will be college educated, I'm sure, for the type of things you want to do. But for this example, for the delivery, that is a good question. Now, I'm going to add the technical component, which is the second part. Kweku is a mid-level professional with 6 years of experience working in IT. In the government sector in Ghana, you hired him to do your ordering platform system for your employees, for your website. But he don't know how to do it. He has no idea what to do. How would you handle that?
If Kweku is not experienced enough, we will explain to him how to improve fast by giving him some homework to do for a week. And if after this time he can't work properly, we will have to fire him. I just have to say, I am a software engineer, so I will always set a technical interview before hiring someone. So these situations will never happen.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you. Great job. Okay, Felicia and Mike, I see y'all back there in the cut. I have not forgotten about you. Okay, this question here. This question is going to be posed to you the same way it was posed to Marlon because your industry is the same, it's IT. So dealing with employees who do not have an understanding of fundamental customer service is a real issue in Africa. Dealing with Ama, who is a soft-spoken 25-year-old who's been unemployed but yet a college graduate. She's very eager to move out and wants to work, but she's always late coming to your office, being at your physical office. And when she's there, she's laying her head on the desk, just not doing the stuff she should be doing. How would you handle that?
Okay, so yeah, Michael said Amma will be fired, but let me Lord have mercy. So let me just keep it real, and then I'm gonna give you my real answer. So like everybody else said, ain't nobody got time for that. We ain't got the patience. Just let me go on and finish, because we ain't got the patience. Now I know we seem like nice people, but we have worked too hard to get where we are, so we ain't got time for that. So what I learned from everybody speaking is, and I think Gilliam hit on it just a few minutes ago, the interview process, Alma would have never got hired, and Kweku would have never got hired because they would have had hands-on situational questions where they had to prove that they knew how to think through our business services. So if you can't talk through what we need you to do as a customer, if you're not passionate about customer service, when it's time to interview you and I say, why are you passionate about customer service? And Alma's like, oh, I just like to help people, whatever. If that passion doesn't come through in the interview, she's out. With Kweku, it would be a hands-on exercise, some kind of technical exercise to prove that he knows how to do basic programming related to what we're going to be doing. So I'm just putting that out there. All right, so the real answer that we put down, the real answer, would you like to read it again? Okay, so the real answer we put down is, upon being hired, Alma and Kweku would have received the following items: on-the-job training, 90 days probation notice, You get 90 days to prove that you can really do the job. Accountability check-ins every 30 days to ensure that their 90-day probationary period goes smoothly. The ability to receive ongoing and required training via LinkedIn Learning, some other kind of resource. And then there will be a 6-month or maybe 3-month, another 3-month performance review every 3 months until we're sure they're the right people. But again, just thinking about this more, it's the interview. If they get past the interview, then you know, all that stuff would happen, but they shouldn't get past it.
So let me, you guys, I can't wait till y'all actually come to Ghana. God, get here and interact with Ghanaians. I will tell you one thing that I've noticed very distinctly about Ghanaians. They are very masterful at selling you themselves. They're very masterful at that. And finding a way to take a bit of knowledge that they do know and make themselves look like they are geniuses. It's not until you get down to the nitty gritty, and I mean beyond a just kind of situational problem or a sample code. I mean, actually digging down deep and doing the work is when you truly see how they're working. Now, one way you could see immediately, even if this is an interview, is pair programming. But you will intimidate them immediately because, as Marlon mentioned earlier, because he was the first one to talk, many of the folks here that have these MIS, CIS, IT, CS degrees have very little hands-on experience because there are no computers where they went to school, or there's a computer lab that doesn't work, or there's a computer lab, but the faculty member that's teaching them has never been in the field, ever. So all that person knows is straight up theory. So I think that as you're thinking through this, and this goes for all y'all tech folk, when you get to Ghana, interact as much as you can with young professionals, young people coming out of university, heck, young people in university, and just have conversations with them to gauge their technical capacity. And then you'll start to see what I'm talking about. But I say this to you because this question I pose to you is very situational, that something I've seen, something I know that's happened here. In 2 different situations, I just combined the question. But I put that out there to all of you because you're going to face some challenges with the people you hire. And I'm not saying that all Ghanaians are lazy. I'm not saying Ghanaians are stupid. I'm not saying that they don't know how to learn or they can't adapt. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that customer service in Ghana is not a priority. It's rarely taught. It's not something that has been focused on. And IT skills here, let me tell you, they're having conferences right now about e-commerce, e-business, about what is it like to work remotely. Are you kidding me? This is a conversation I was dealing with in 2006 when I was working from home. I'm so confused. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. But they are dead serious because it's all brand new to them. And I get confused because I'm just like, I don't understand why this is even a discussion. We should be past this. But they're just getting to this point right now here in Ghana. So I just wanted to share that. I'm glad you guys talked about this question. I think it was better to talk through this question than to give you flat out feedback on this because it's just better to discuss it. Yes, Felicia.
One of the things that me and Michael have been talking about in previous weeks is just, our patience level, but also that we, in order to get our business off the ground in Ghana, in order to be successful in those first crucial 6 months to a year, it might be best for us to hire other diasporans who at least understand our level of work ethic. So they're in Africa, they've moved to Africa, but they're not originally from Africa, so that they understand, okay, listen, we hired you because we need to get off the ground for the first 6 months to a year or 2 years. After that, we can hire the locals, and not that I'm not interested in hiring locals, but I'm saying it's going to be it would be a mixture of diasporans who are from where we're from, or you know, UK, wherever, that have a certain work ethic already, and then they can train the new locals that we hire after the fact. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
Okay, so I'm going to answer this. Don't take offense to my answer, please. You know how my mouth is, Felicia. I'm not trying to be rude. I just been very direct. You sound like a white woman. You sound like colonizer. I just trying to be respectful, but you do. Hiring a diasporan is fine. You know, hiring other Black folks because they know how to be on time, they know the work ethic, they know how things work. That's fine, but it's counterproductive. Depending on your business and how much money you have to spend initially to launch, it could be a great idea because you're going to pay a diasporan at least 3-4 times in what you pay someone locally here. Because a diasporan is not going to live off of no $300 a month. They're not going to work for that. That's never going to happen. But a Ghanaian would, because for them, that's a middle class, not a middle class, but that's a living wage. That's one step above and one step below one step above poverty, one step below middle class, because you can live a nice life for $300 a month here or more. But a diasporan won't do that. When you come to Ghana and you're opening a business in Ghana, or even a branch, for us as diasporans coming here, we should be hiring Ghanaians. If we're not hiring Ghanaians, what we look like to them is what they see us as, white people. When y'all come here, they're gonna see you as white people, they're gonna call you white. They literally are gonna call you and Mike a white woman and a white man, because they've been calling me that. But they just now stopped calling me white for some reason. I don't know why, but they finally stopped calling me white because maybe my little bit of tree is working for me, and because I know more about stuff than they thought I did. But they will quickly call you white, view you as white, see you as white, and not having local Ghanaians working for you, people will ask questions initially. I mean, not saying that that doesn't happen. It does happen. You know what I mean? But having a mixture of both is a good way to solve that problem. You have your diasporans who know your work ethic, understand the technology, understand how to deliver, and they are working in tandem with the locals and helping to train the new staff. Yes, that's good. That's good. You know, no offense, sis, no offense. Just saying, I know how, you know, I'm a little bit direct. Okay.
I have a question to Felicia. If you hire diasporan American, would you pay him the American wage or the Ghanaian wage?
Well, so one of the things that, just from experience, if I were to go for a job here in the US, I'm going to ask for what the market will bear, right? So same thing in Ghana. Whatever the market will bear is what I'm going to do. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just answering this question. I would go by the market.
But how can I explain?
So okay. the diasporan that moved from here or the UK or wherever to Ghana, I'm assuming understands that there's a lower cost of living in Ghana, and they can't expect, say, you know, $60,000 in US, right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that I would go by the market.
But that's not how it works here. When folks come here, from anywhere in diaspora, they expect to be paid in their local currency. They expect to be paid in dollars, euros, or pounds. You know why? Because they can demand that pay, and the local companies will pay it. The international companies will pay them in dollars or euros or pounds. And so we all know here on the ground, if you choose to work and, you know, as an employee, you can demand the salary in your local currency at the going rate of where you're from versus here in Ghana, which is completely insane, topsy-turvy, makes no sense because you're in Ghana. It should be you're getting paid what the local rate is for a software developer here in Ghana. But that is not how it works in Africa. It's how it works in Germany, though. You can go in Germany and do that for sure, because they be like, oh, this ain't America. You about to be paid what we pay here, here in Germany, in Berlin. But in Ghana, that is not the case. It is, when I told y'all, this is like Alice in Wonderland, you walking on the ceiling looking upside down and everything upside, right side up. This is like totally different. Everything you think you know, throw it out, because it's not gonna work here, because they don't do anything the way you all are used to it. But you can still get plenty of things done once you understand the system. Who's next? Gwen and Gillo? I ain't forget about y'all. We just did y'all though, right? Yeah, okay, so we all did it. Woo, Lord. Ain't that something to make you think, right? Okay, guys, we need to do our pitches. And after we do the pitches, we'll go into the lecture for securing your customer base. But your pitches, this time around, I'm timing you. I'm literally going to have a clock going, and I'm going to time you on my other phone. And so you are going to have 5 minutes to do your pitch. Remember, you pitched the pitch you did last week, right? You're talking about your business. What is the name of your business? What is the product that you're selling, or the service that you provide? Why should someone buy your service? Or you can say what it is that you're looking for from the person you're pitching to, from them. Are you looking for an introduction? Are you looking for a meeting? Are you looking for startup investment? Are you looking for a partnership? You know, what are you looking for? Every single pitch you do should have a purpose. When you talk about your business, when you guys talked about your business to Tyrone, you all pitched your business in different ways, but that was a pitch because you talked about what you do and what you're going to do. So you're going to do this pitch again. What did I say, 3 minutes or 5 minutes? I can't remember. Was it 3 minutes? 5 minutes, okay. 5 minutes, 500 words. I'm timing you. Don't put extra words in there. You can read it off or you can memorize it, but you only have 15 minutes. Misha, I know that you have to go soon. Are you going to be able to do this exercise? If not, we'll have to do office hours so you can talk to me about it. You're good? Okay, so our 15 minutes will start at now, 6:09. So go ahead, you can mute and turn your cameras off, and I will make an announcement when it's time to come back. 2-minute warning. 2 minutes. That's all you have left. All right, time. Please turn your cameras back on and your mics. All right, fantastic. Guys, it's time. Please turn your mic and your cameras back on. And this time, Michael and Gillum will be pitching for their respective companies. Yeah, Gillum, I put you on the spot. You're gonna do it. Thank you. Hopefully Misha, I know Misha has to leave early. So hopefully she's still here. If not, we will do office hours and she will go through hers with me. Felicia and Michael, come on now. Y'all do this every time. Y'all know, I know you still there. I can see your name. Turn your camera back on, guys, and your mic, please. We can't start until you do this. Black people. We not on CP time or Ghana time. Felicia, girl, I know you hear me, girl. Misha, I'm gonna let you go first because I know time is of the essence for you and you have to go. That's okay, I'm gonna be timing everybody. Okay. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, we gotta go. We have to go ahead and keep moving. Misha, go ahead and go with your pitch. And then once I give you your feedback, you can drop off so you can do what you need to do. Y'all know y'all tripping. I got an attitude.
We are so sorry. We were having a good discussion too. We were talking about being bougie. We were talking about our bougie.
All right, Misha, please go ahead. I know the time is of the essence, so go ahead and do your pitch. Thank you. Let me know when you're ready because I'm timing it.
Okay, I'm ready. Hello, my
Okay,
name
go.
is Misha Wilson. Hello, my name is Misha Wilson, the director of Kids Time Child Care Center. We provide safe, quality child care in a home learning environment in the Accra area. If you need 24-hour child care, Kids Time is the place to meet. All of our staff is first aid and CPR trained. We also provide a positive quality learning environment for children aged 3 to 5 years old. We also provide we also provide meals and transportation at a low cost. So if you need quality childcare, please come to Kids Time Early Learning Center. Thank you.
Good, that's under time. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I feel like you hit all the points. You talked about your business. You said what the problem was if you need affordable childcare. You said, did you say affordable or did you say, what did you say? You used a word. Was it affordable or a different word?
I used affordable, I used quality, safe, first aid, CPR trained.
Yeah, those
okay.
three. Quality, affordable, and safe. So those are problems that you're solving. And then the CPR training sets you apart from others, making you different. Okay, good job. You did it under the time too. Now you got to memorize it. So next time we do the 3-minute one, you got it on point. All right, Misha, thank you. You can go ahead and go. I know you need to leave to take care of family business, and I will move on to who wants to go next? Bye, Misha. Who wants to go next? Everybody don't volunteer at once. All right, fine. Let me reset my clock. Let's see. All right. I'm watching y'all, watching me. Nobody wants to volunteer. Okay, Marlon, you keep smiling. I love it. Your turn.
I thought Felicia was volunteering. She raised her hand. But I
Did you raise your hand, girl? Okay, never mind. Felicia, did you raise your hand?
I was waving bye to Misha.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, Marlon, you up, you up. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Go.
Okay, go.
Good afternoon. My name is Marlon Caesar. My company, Lennox Tech, is an IT engineering automation company. We help companies implement complex automation processes and reduce IT costs. How? Our senior engineering staff comes with more than 25 years industry experience and hold the latest IT DevSecOps certification. We save on IT costs by tapping into the youngest workforce in the world, Africa, with a population of 1.3 billion, and of which 60% being below the age of 25. Africa is ready to take on this sector and indeed the world. We partner with industry leaders such as Amazon and Google, along with local colleges, to train and hire local talent to meet our industry needs. At a time when outsourcing to Asia, Europe, and South America has reached a climax, Africa is the place with the largest growth potential and cost savings. Reach out to us for more information on our services. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. It was under 5 minutes. Fantastic. All right, that was really good. Really good. You hit all the points. You talked about your company, what you do, the services you offer, how you're different. You do some numbers, some data in there about the youngest population, and you drew out, your connections that you have to the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? I saw you, the Big Five. I saw you, that's nice. You did a good job. Thank you. That was excellent, actually. It was really good. Okay, who's next? Awesome. Okay, Gillum, you can go next. Give me 1 second. I need to reset the clock. Okay. All right, let me know when you're ready.
I am.
Okay, go.
Good afternoon. My name is Guillaume, and I'm the co-founder of this whole farm company. Did you know that chicken in Ghana comes from Brazil or Europe? It arrives frozen, so there is a risk for it to get unfrozen during transport. It can cause several diseases from indigestions to cancer. To solve this problem, our company, This Whole Farm, provides local chicken, organic and healthy. Our chickens are raised by farmers in your area and are delivered to your door weekly, which allows it to arrive on your plate as quickly as possible and still fresh. Do you want to eat healthy chicken? Then go to our website, thiswholefarm.co, to subscribe and get your chicken every week.
Okay, great. You definitely under time. That was like super fast. That was great. That was super fast. It was good. Very, very good. I heard you talk about the service that you offer. I heard you talk about the difference or the problem. Sounds like the problem was that the chicken isn't actually coming from Ghana, but it's being imported, excuse me, from Europe or Brazil versus being locally grown organic chicken. Is that right? Okay. And then when you talked about, and help me make sure that I didn't miss it, you talked about that was the problem you talked about. Did you talk about how you solve it? Did you say that you would be delivering it? What did you say about that last part of how you solve the problem?
Yes, we will deliver the chicken to your door weekly.
Yes. Okay. Good job. That pitch was fast. Boy, that pitch was fast. That was a good one. Okay, great job. All right, Felicia and Michael, you guys are up next. Let me know when you're ready, and only one of you do it, and it's Michael's turn. Michael, I need you to speak loudly because, or move closer so I can hear you, because most times I can never hear you. So please let me know when you're ready.
So we didn't practice me doing this pitch. I had parts in it, but I'm not going to be speaking in the pitch. Felicia practiced it. She got the words down. She got the timing down and everything else.
Michael, just read what you wrote. But I'm timing it. That's all. You just read what you wrote and I'm going to time it. That's all. It's fine. Just let me know when you're ready.
All right, we'll do. Okay. Yeah.
You ready?
Just trying to get it on the screen. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's get the screen down. All right, I'm ready.
All right, go ahead and go.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us for this proposal. My name is Michael O'Loughlin, and I'm the president of Daytech Systems. Felicia O'Loughlin, who is the vice president of Daytech Systems, is also here. First of all, we'd like to address how we can help solve one of Ghana's current technology challenges, specifically in relation to the education sector. So one of the things that we've learned about COVID-19 is that it exposed the fact that lots of schools across Ghana are not fully prepared to offer educational services in a fully digital format during the pandemic. Not only was it difficult for many students to continue learning, but the pandemic also made it difficult for both teachers and staff to keep up with the required guidelines and policies. The pandemic also showed us that many organizations don't have the sufficient technology to provide remote learning. As a result, many teachers were scrambling around trying to figure out how to use Zoom, how to put their curriculum online, all while trying to understand what rules they needed to follow in the classroom. So what we are providing, what we would like to propose is a way to equip schools in Ghana with the necessary technology required to teach remote online classes. In order to do so, Daytech has two initial solutions. One, remote training systems that allow online teaching and learning. Two, cybersecurity and support to secure the data for these remote training systems. We'd also like to add that by 2024, we'd like to provide these two services. We'd like to provide these two services by 2024. We believe that it will help bridge the gap for educational organizations who want to be fully digital by 2024. Just FYI, our demographic for these services would initially focus on schools across the three largest parts of Ghana, which include Accra, Kumasi, and Tamale. We would also like to provide these same digital services to Ghana schools in a way where they can leverage the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. There's a lot of detail to figure out here, but we want this effort to benefit the educational sector as a whole. Lastly, one of the other things we are excited about is partnering with your Ministry of Ghana's Cybersecurity Act of 2020. We'd like to partner with your ministry on Ghana's Cybersecurity Act of 2020. Parliament passed the landmark Cybersecurity Act in 2020. Again, lots of details here to figure out, but what we are asked is that we'd like to schedule another meeting within the next 2 weeks so that we can discuss how Daytech becomes an official partner in Ghana and how we can help Ghana to fully digitize their education sector before 2020 and beyond.
Okay, are you done?
Yes.
Awesome. So you are under the 5 minutes. Great job. Okay, good. Because I thought y'all was going to go over. Y'all did good. I love it. Great job, Michael. Thank you so much for reading it. Okay, so you guys completely did a pivot from the focus that you had throughout the entire program, basically. I mean, not a complete pivot, but a bit of a pivot when it comes to the pitch. So your pitch last week was towards several different ministries, but now it's towards educational institutions. That's how I heard it, right?
Yeah, it's more focused now.
Okay, yeah. So what you did was good because you said, you talked about the business, you talked about the services you'll offer, but you also talked about the problem because you talked about the frustration and confusion and lack of knowledge when it comes to e-learning and doing simple things like just getting on Zoom. So is that was the problem, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like your pitch was good. It was very good. I think next time, keep in mind that the pitch is going to get shorter. So it won't be, this is for everyone. This is for everyone, not just you. The pitch next week is going to be 3 minutes because what we're working up to is to the final project. The final project is a pitch deck. And I'll be talking about what the pitch deck is next week. But when you do your pitch deck, you're initially going to do a 2-minute pitch, and then you're going to go through the pitch deck. And so we're working our way to that. So we did 5 minutes today, 5 minutes last week. We're going to do 3 minutes next week. And then that final project where you actually do a PowerPoint presentation about your business and you share it on the screen with us, you're going to do a 2-minute pitch. And that's for everyone, not just you, Michael. So just know I'm talking to the whole class now. So everyone has improved with their pitches. You guys all stayed under the time. So it was really good. How did you feel about it? What do you think, guys? What feedback do you have for each other? Like, let's talk to each other, please. And let's compare it to last week. How do you feel it was different or better? If you don't want to talk about somebody else's pitch, at least talk about your own. Y'all have opinions, y'all Black. Y'all better stop it.
I think everybody's was better this time around. I think everybody had a chance to really get into it and get it focused in. really focus on what they wanted to say. So I think it was better for everybody.
Okay, great. Where my girl Felicia at? I don't even see her. Oh my God. Did I make her mad? You better tell her to get.
No, I'm over here. I'm just trying to let Michael shine. He's shining.
That's what I'm talking about. All right now. All right. Okay, who else want to talk?
Yeah, I'll go. So I think last week I kind of focused on a lot of the technology portion of what we're going to sell. And this week, I think I focus a lot on the student portion or the training portion. So I think for the next one, I'll try to bridge those two and get more of a 50-50 kind of balance. So I think this week for me was a little off balance, but I'm still working on it. So next week, I should be better.
I thought it was really good, though, to be honest, Marlon. Like for me, I understood this week what the problem you're solving is. And you know I'm big on this, what problem you're solving. So I thought it was a very good pitch. But that's me. What do you guys think? Especially you tech folk. I know your tech people got opinions.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties here. Our hard drive's filling up, so we need a minute.
What was the question?
What did you think of Marlon's pitch? Did you understand what the problem he's solving, the problem that he's solving with his business?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was, and I think because it was straight to the point, and so he hit the points, and there wasn't a lot of extra in there, so it was really easy to understand, easy to grasp onto, and I think it was great. Looking forward to partnering with him when we get there.
Excellent. Okay, so Gillum and Gwen, what did you feel about the pitch that you did this week? Well, Gillum, you did the pitch this week. Gwen did it last week. You guys stayed on course. I thought it was just as good as the original pitch. It was faster for sure, but just as good as the original pitch. So how do you guys feel about it?
To be honest, it's oriented to customers, but for the final presentation, we don't really know if it's gonna have to be oriented to customers, if it's only to present to. Should we prepare another pitch for other, like for instance, for a partnership or something? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I heard you. I just had to put it closer to my ear so I can really hear you well, but I heard you. No, you don't have to change your pitch for a different type of partnership. You can keep your pitch the way it is, since you did two different types of pitches. The one you did first last week was for like everyday customers like myself. The one you guys did this week is focusing, let's say, a little bit more on restaurants. So that's business to business. When it comes to the pitch deck, I'm going to go into that into detail next week. However, to answer your question, that is going to be a decision that you all make individually as a business as to who you're pitching to. So for me, I will be advising you all to pitch to another business or be pitching to investors. And that's the purpose of the pitch deck. A pitch deck is not for regular everyday consumers. It's for specifically to get investment dollars from either an investment firm or from angel investors. So the pitch deck is being put together so you guys, one, have a structure format for your Ghanaian business, and two, you can alter that and change that later when you start pitching to people who you may want to bring on as investors, or bring on as senior employees or senior partners in different roles that you may need in your organization. Does that answer the question, or does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions about what I just said? Okay. So I think Felicia and Michael just fell off for a second. They'll probably just come right back. But it looks like there's no more questions. So let's go into our short but useful PowerPoint on securing your customer base. That is going to be in the week 9 folder. I unfortunately cannot pull it up for you because I'm on my phone, and my computer, the internet that I have connected to my computer keeps dropping off. But the internet on my phone seems to be stable, so we'll just go with it. Yes, so please go ahead and click on that PowerPoint in week 9 folder called Securing Your Customer Base. Okay, so for securing your customer base, there is a portion of this that I left off, and I don't know how I did that, but I do want to discuss it initially, and especially since Marlon talked about using his network to already get meetings to do a demo. I want to talk about the network. Networking with the people that you already may know who live in your community or who you already work with who happen to be Ghanaians. Ghanaians are interconnected more than you may think. So if you work with someone that's Ghanaian where you're at now, or if you're friends with someone that's Ghanaian, or your mom's friends with someone that's Ghanaian, get an introduction, because you never know who they know within a particular ministry or within a particular industry here in Ghana that can be useful to you. Now, the slide utilizing social media. I personally think social media is a great thing to utilize here in Africa on the continent, especially since Facebook somehow is dominating social media here. When I say Facebook, I mean Facebook and Instagram. You can use these means of social media to sell your product, advertise your product. You don't even have to pay for ads. You can literally just be posting about what you do and how you do it, because people will go to social media, in particular Facebook, before they go to someone's website in this part of the world. For me, I was shocked because what I do, I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to Google who you are. I'm going to Google your company, and I want to see a legitimate, good website that's secure. Here, security of the website. Look at half the ministry websites. They're completely insecure, right? So it's kind of like using that social media to sell your product can be very valuable. This is especially true for the childcare and for the agribusiness, because again, I told you guys, I found the farmers I use or the companies I use to deliver to me on Instagram. And I'm on a WhatsApp group with a whole bunch of women from all over the world with Ghanaian partners, and everyone is talking about who can get you organic chicken. I just saw that one. Who can get you organic meat? Who can get you kale? Kale is the favorite of all women in the world over in the West. And we're talking about these things and trying to give each other information. WhatsApp is how business is done in Ghana. I know it's not that secure. I know there's issues. I know there's flaws. I know Telegram would be better, but WhatsApp is the way of the world in Ghana. People will respond faster to you on WhatsApp than they will through email. People have email here. I can't get them to respond to email. So most people will only respond to a phone call or to WhatsApp. So please keep that in mind as you are building your networks, working through the system, understanding the system, and understanding how communication works here in Ghana. So the next slide is ask yourself, and that is, do you got what they want? Your business, do you have what the customers want in your business? Is the product or service you provide needed by the target market? And I spelled target wrong, so please forgive me. I didn't have my good glasses when I made this. When I made this presentation, so sorry. But the market that you're looking to target has to want your product. They need to have a need for your product. There needs to be a gap that you can fill. So that's what I mean by that. Are you better than your competitor? So is someone working here already as a site reliability, in site reliability? Do they know what site reliability is? Do they know what cloud infrastructure is? You know what I mean? Do they understand what DevOps is? And if they do, or if they don't, how do you explain that to them so that they can see value in it and understand that their data and the things they do can still be secure and locally housed versus being shipped across the world back and forth and the data bouncing around. So these are the things that you should keep in mind as you are building your initial customer base. And will your customers come back for more? You know, whenever we sell anything, will people buy your secondary product? Will people want you not only to do their e-learning platform for them, but will they allow you to handle any security training, security awareness training, ransomware issues? Will they allow you to follow up and follow through with additional services? And, you know, just like in the West, they're only going to do that if they trust you or if they feel they can get the best price. Ghanaians are real cheap too. You know, they like to negotiate everything. So if they feel like they're getting the best price, then they're happy to come back. You know, and the best price doesn't always mean the cheapest. It just means the best price for whoever's the person that's doing procurement at the time. And so can you sell your product? Can you sell your product easily to your target base? Are they coming to you asking you for assistance and help once they know who you are, once they know what your business is doing, and once they know what your business can do for them? So are potential customers asking you for the product? And what I mean by that is, are people asking you, can you do a particular service? Or let's say for agribusiness, are people asking you, can you please provide me with recipes on how to cook my organic chicken in a healthy way, right? So can you put into the box a recipe card that's colorful and nice that has information on a meal that they can make with their organic chicken? Or people asking you, okay, you know, I know you do DevOps. Can you please help me train my infrastructure engineer? Because we want to move to AWS and we don't know how to do it. You know, it's things like that that people will come to you in different ways to ask for your help and to have you be able to do more and make more money within the organization. And so will family and friends pay for your product? Have you guys ever thought about that? Like, will your people buy what you sell it? Do your family and friends believe in what you're doing? One of y'all at least got one technical friend to know what you're doing. Don't be smiling at me like they don't know nothing. No, somebody know at least one thing that you're doing. You know, would they buy it? You know, all you need is one. If one family or friend would actually purchase your product and or has purchased your product, that is a very, very good thing. So I just want you all to keep that in mind, because some of you may want at some point to get investor dollars. And investors are going to ask you about family and friends. Not necessarily how much have they invest, they'll ask you that, but they will also be curious, do they support you? Do they understand what you're doing? Will they back you? These questions do come up. So lastly, always ask for connections to people in your industry. And sometimes it's even good to do cross industry because things overlap, especially when it comes to tech. And things overlap in agribusiness as well, because you can go from poultry farming to raising crops to rearing other animals to manufacturing. You know, are you manufacturing, shipping off pineapples or some other major crop like cashews and other things that grow here in abundance in different regions? Cold calling and hitting people up on LinkedIn to network. If you don't have any contacts in Ghana now, or you don't know any Ghanaians, there's plenty of professional Ghanaians on LinkedIn. They use it. They use it a lot. So it's another way to network with people if you can. And then speaking at and attending conferences or trade shows, even the virtual ones. Ghana has gotten to the point now, I don't know about how it's working where you all are at, but Ghana is to the point now where a lot of the conferences are now face-to-face again. People are masked up, but they're doing face-to-face conferences, face-to-face speaking engagements, whereas I know in Germany still they're doing virtual, right? So being able to talk at these events, getting people to hear about your product, getting people to hear about your services, getting people to hear about how you have helped other companies in the region of the world that you're in, and then how you can help people here on the continent makes a huge difference. So I really encourage you guys to try to start speaking at different conferences and events. Even if they're small conferences to you, they can have an impact here in Africa and Ghana overall. So just keep that in mind and consider that. Any questions? I'm all done. Any questions?
What about things like meetups? Do you recommend those also?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen a lot of real meetups happening in Ghana. I've seen a lot of hookup events, and I don't got time for that. So I just, I don't know. If you see a real meetup where they're professional and, doing something, talking about something, real technology, let me know. But as far as I know, I haven't seen any real meetups here.
Yeah, I guess you have to create one, right?
I guess so. That's a good idea. Yeah, everybody, you got the app and you have the ability to use it. That's true. Yeah, any other questions? All right, guys, we are right on time. Next week, we're going to talk about that final project. And we're going to cover, I forgot. We're going to cover we're going to end this program a week early because folks need to come to Africa, and I respect that. So we're going to do this in a way that we can get all the content in so that everyone has a good experience and is able to get their certificate of completion for the program. Next week, I'm going to cover the next two topics, which I believe is, I'm not looking at it right now. I think it's scaling your African business and then conquering fear, I believe it is. We're definitely going to do another pitch. Your pitch is going to be only 3 minutes instead of 5. And then we're going to go from there. You do not have any homework, but if you want to start researching a pitch deck, you can. I will next week give you criteria for your pitch deck for this particular program. But other than that, you guys are free to go. Have a good evening. It's exactly 7 p.m. in Ghana, getting you guys out right on time. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
And thanks, Felicia, for being a good sport. Love you, girl. Bye.